Hey guys, Skiddy here. I'm so sorry I haven't been uploading videos lately. Thing is, I had 2 weeks of really just nightmares at work, so I didn't really have any energy when I came home. So I wasn't really able to record anything, plus my editor has been too busy to edit videos and my computer's been acting up and it just a typical week almost, except I was just too busy to really make anything else, to compensate for her being able to upload the Nuzlocke. But what I'm gonna do here is actually do my top 10 favorite Pokemon. And normally when people do like these kind of videos, do like where they just kind of voice over some images and stuff, and my nose is really itchy. But I decided to make it kind of more personal and a bit more lazy. Where I just kind of talk to you in person, and probably will revisit this video in the future when I have a better editor program. But for now, this is just gonna be like just more personal, really. And really, I just have like one absolute favorite Pokemon, and the rest is just kind of like things I really like. And really try to make this list as accurate as possible, and I think I managed to do that. So number 10 is Scizor. I really could have put Heracross, Pinsir, Scyther, I could have put any of those, but I decided to put Scizor. I don't know, I'm not sure about Mega Scizor. I think the design looks a bit like Scissors, really. I don't know, it just looks a bit off. But Scizor, I really like. I like that it has really few weaknesses, because Bug really does have, especially when you combine with someone like Flying, there's a ton of weaknesses. And Scizor it's both strong. It has the same, I think, base stats as Scyther does, so it doesn't gain anything, it just kind of becomes different. I really like that actually. I think it becomes slower, it becomes more defensive. I'm not sure if it's special, I think it's physical defense, I'm not sure about the special defense, but it can really take hits, and the only problem is that it's 4 times weak to fire, and that's, granted, that's a big flaw, but if you know what's gonna have fire type moves, almost nothing can touch it, and I really like that. And number 9 is actually Crobat. As you do this. Yeah, that took way too long. Anyway, number 9 is Crobat. Flying types aren't really my favorite types. And I don't know, because these generic flying types, I really find myself liking them. And I'm actually really cold right now, I don't know why. Anyway, distracted. And Crobat is actually one of my favorite flying type Pokemon. And it's not the only flying type that I like, but it's really up there. I love the design. I don't like the backspread in the 4th generation where it just has like one wing sticking out, and that's really, maybe I think an ear and part of a head. I really don't like it. I think they could have done a much more with it, but I love the design of it. I like Zubat in the 4th generation. I never used it because it couldn't let fly. But I like that it's part poison and not part normal. I love that it's fast. It can hit really hard. I love it. And also in the anime, it was so cute. And number 8 is Ninjarisu, otherwise known as Pachirisu. This one I love. Number 1, I love because it has pickup. And no things that no pickup, except for Zigzagoon and that. Most things that no pickup, only learn it like really early on, and then after they evolve, they forget about it. Like, the evolution gets some other ability, but pickup it stays with Pachirisu, and that's one reason why I love it. Also, I love it because it's like has this tiny body and this big fluffy tail. I love the colors of it. I love the overall design of it. And plus, it was also really adorable in anime. So really, I know it's not like the strongest Pokemon ever, but I like it anyway. And I think it's one of those things that if you use it right, it can be really good. You just need to know how to use it, really. You can't make it into something that's really not. But having it on your team, if only for that pickup, training it up just to get better items, I recommend it. And I have a list here, I keep forgetting how I ordered it. And number 7 is Ninetales. Ninetales, really, the main reason I love it is because of the design, really. And there was also one episode in the anime of this Ninetales that hadn't seen his trainers in like hundreds of years. They can live like for, I think it was 1,000 years, and hadn't seen his trainer for like 200 or 300 years or something. And It was just such a sad episode, and it really got me to like Ninetales. Also, the design of it, the design of it itself. There are two things I don't like about it. One thing is that, especially in the first generation, it doesn't get too good moves, and I think Star Wars is not like the greatest fighter you could ever have. And also, it's that it was via stone, and the moment you evolve it, it can't learn any other moves via level up. I feel like it forced you to have Vulpix for so long, and that's a really big flaw for me, so that's why it's not higher on the list. But main reason is that one episode in the anime and the design of it. Those are like the two main reasons why I love Ninetales. And it's probably my favorite fire type actually, which kind of says a lot that I don't fighters are normally like the go-to type where I really love, but Ninetales, it's up there. And number 6 is Per Ugly. I know it's meant to be a really ugly Pokemon. It has ugly in the name. And even the anime kind of made fun of how fat it was, where the moment it looks really thin, the moment you lift the tail, it got really fat. So kind of it helped this. I think the story is that it holds its stomach in with the tail to look bigger and look more scary or something. But honestly, I really like the design of Ugly. Their feet are so tiny, the ears are so big, and it just looks so grumpy. And there's something about it, I really love it. And I admit I've never actually trained one because I think you can only get it in. I think it's really hard to get in a Platinum. You can get it really late on. By the time I got there, I usually had a full team anyway, and I've never been able to get to that point in an Oxford or something. I never caught it in an Nuzlocke, and it's really nice because I always really wanted to train, but I never could. I tried to get it through GTS, when like you could look for blah blah blah. Yeah, that one. You could see Broccoli with, what was the name? I think it was Mars, one of those bosses, and try to go back, to get it, but I never could. And it's really sad. One of these days I'm gonna train one because I really the most of it is just the design, and it's one of those hated Pokemon. I just, oh, you don't deserve to be hated. I love it. And number 5 is the only dragon type I actually like, including all the legendaries. So I have a bit of a cold, I think. And it's Altaria. The Mega Altaria is, I don't know anything about stats or anything like that. I think it keeps the flying dragon. It's only one of the few flying types I actually like. But most of all, it's just the design. What I hate about it is that you get it at, like in Platinum, you can get it at level like, I think it's around level 27 or something, and it evolves at level 23, but it has crappy moves, so that's why I really don't like Shrublodamet. Like, it's cute, but totally worthless. But the moment you evolve it, it can be really good, and Radek is like, I think it's the weakest dragon type, or one of the weakest. And obviously it has a 4 times weakness to ice. I know it has a weakness to rock, it has weakness to dragon, so it has a big weakness. At first, if you're looking for like a strong dragon type, also really isn't your go-to thing. But my favorite is you really go. Okay, sorry, the camera's really freezing there, but like I was saying, my favorites really go by what's really strong. Is usually what I really like, like the look of it. And Altaria is one of those things. I just really like the way it looks. And that's it. Altaria is number 5. And number 4 is Eevee. Now, Eevee's on this. I don't really like using it. I really like the evolutions. The killer for me is that they don't really get any good moves. And I feel like there's always they're good, but there's always something better, something stronger, something with better moves, something with greater stats. And it's like with the classic Flareon, although it does have high special attack, I think it's high physical is 95, and that's good, but it just doesn't have the moves to back it up. And the special isn't bad, or anything, but it's just, I think I had the reverse special identify. Anyway, there's just always something better that comes along. But Eevee, I really just like it because it's cute. It can evolve into many different things, and yeah, it's cute, really. I just like that it's cute, and that's all there is to it. I rarely ever use Eevee, and I really find the need to ever get them. I think it was, though I admit in the 5th generation we could actually catch Eevee in the wild. I was really excited about that, and I was, every time I go there, I'm like, please get an Eevee, please get an Eevee. Even though if I got one, I probably won't be like excited about using it. So it's probably just that habit is because if something is rare you can barely get in a game, I'm gonna want, even if it's Dunsparce. But then other games come there, I'm not gonna want it just because I don't like the Pokemon. So I think it's just the fact that it's so rare and it's cute that I really like about it. And if Eevee was extremely common, like first year Pokemon, I probably wouldn't like it as much as I do. I will admit that. But number 3 is Skiddy. This is the only cat Pokemon on this list actually, but a spoiler I guess. But you probably were expecting like Persian, Skiddy, you know, all these Liepard, all these cat Pokemon. I don't know why I forgot the name cat there, derp. But really, I don't know, I do like Persian. It's not my favorite. I do like Liepard after seeing it in the anime. I didn't like it when it first came out, but Skiddy, I don't know, it's also just that it's cute really. I don't like the ability, I don't know what it's called, but it's like it turns every move into normal type. And you could use toxic or steel types and everything gets stabbed of course, but you also like the really big part about normal types is that they can get like ice type moves common, they can get, I think some of them can get grass type moves, they can get water type moves, some of them can surf, you know, you can get, I think a lot of them can get strength. You can get such a wide variety in a move pool, so having like one normal type on your team, you can cover things like, say, weak to rock type, and to have a water type, you can give it surf or something. You can really cover weaknesses, and it's especially good in a wetlock, like when you have to cover weaknesses of your partner, to have a normal type, you can learn a lot of different moves. That's the beauty of normal types, and I feel like the ability that turn everything into a normal type move, yeah, you get stabbed, it kind of ruins a big part of what normal types are about. But they are cute, and that's why they're also high on the list. I really like cute Pokemon. I'm a total girl that way. So yeah, number 3 is Skiddy. Number 2, I doubt anyone's gonna agree with me, but it's actually Radek. I know I like a lot of like the normal types that you get early on. I like Liepard. I don't like Bidoof though, I admit that. I do like Sandra, I do kind of like Scizor, but just haven't played hard enough to really fall in love with them. And I don't know what, there's the normal, what is it? Littleia, I think it is, in the 16. I like the idea of it to have like this normal fight you can get really early on. I do also like Patrat, I love those, so just they hit so hard. And that's also why I love Radek. So any one of those additions could have made it to the second spot. But I choose Radek because first of all, nostalgia. You know, I'll move that. But second one is also hyper fun, that it gets really early on and it can hit so hard, you know? You get tackle and quick attack early on. And for a long time, that's good enough, you know, to have those 2 moves. But the moment you need something stronger, instead of getting like a series of weak moves, you know, or just waiting for some, you get Hyper Fang. And that's really good. And you also get, later on, you get Super Fang, which I know you can't kill anything with it, because I think you can, the lowest thing you get with Hyper Fang is level is 1, and you can't get anything further than that. But just like having, like you have a really defensive Pokemon, and you need something to cut the health down. This is Super Fang gets 50% health, you know, sometimes that's really good. And I also love it because the anime made it look so fierce really, and so unique somehow. And we really fell in love with Radek there. There was one episode where they were on a boat, and I think Butterfree and Radek were battling or something. Radek were battling a few Pokemon. I was really like, wow, you know that Pokemon, I love it. So I don't know, Radek is one of those things that I just like it, you know. It's mostly just the moves that it gets are really good, and also you can get really early. I like it. And actually 1.5, wait, that was a bit offensive, I'm sorry. 1.5 is actually any bug flying type. These tend to be my favorite. It's only because, I don't know, because it's like butterflies, you know, So that was a phone call. Sorry about that. But like I was saying, it's, you know, yeah, my Vivian, even though I never played the 16 race and wanted to record this video, I don't know what it's gonna be like in the future. And I don't like Mega though, it's probably the only bug flying type. It's Vespa Queen, it's, I was gonna say beautiful, that's not flying. It's really all of those. Beautifully also, I don't know, it's just Ladybug. I love those. Ladian. It's really, I love a lot of bugs. The bug type is actually my favorite type, and just if they introduce a bug flying type, I'm probably gonna love it. Yanmega is just like a tragic. They could have done so many things with Yanmega, and the fact that they chose to just give it an ocular design, really, it's quite sad. They could be useful. I've used them myself, but it's not good. And I really wanted to make this because if I didn't make like any bug flying type category, my list would just be like Mothim number 10, Westby Queen number 9, Beautifly number 8. It would just be like a list of bug types really. And number 1 is actually Butterfree. I remember first time I saw Butterfree in the game, it was just like a jaw drop. I love the design of it. And this Pokemon, it had Supersonic, it had Sleep Powder, it had Stun Spore, and it had Poison Powder. And even though it had no attacking move, it was impossible to knock out. It kept putting you to sleep, paralyzing you, confusing you. You would just knock yourself out before you can kill it. And it was so frustrating, but in the most loving way possible. You can say that it was love at first sight Pokemon, so it sounds a bit nerdy, but it's really how it was for me. I just loved it right from the start. And I know it sounds a bit goofy, but it's been, I think I started playing Pokemon probably around 2000 or something like that, maybe a bit earlier. And it's been my favorite ever since. And there has been a lot of Pokemon since that I really love, but none of them have really been able to get to that level of love. Like I like them, but they're just not, they can't compete. And I know it's not the strongest Pokemon. I know there are a lot of, it's good early on maybe, but it's not really good like to take the lead for anything. I will admit this, but it's been my favorite for a lot of years. It's probably gonna be a favorite when I'm old knitting this socks, talking about Butterfrees, how cute they are. You know, it's my favorite. So that's my top 10 favorites Pokemon list. If you don't remember, it was number 10 was Scizor, number 9 was Crobat, number 8 was Pachirisu, number 7 was Ninetales, number 6 Ugly, number 5 Altaria, number 4 Eevee, number 3 Skiddy, number 2 Radek, surprising entry I know, 1.5 any bug flying type, and number 1 Butterfree, the god of Pokemon. And also something else I want to talk about is, I don't think I said this in a video or tweeted about it, saying that if someone guessed the correct country that I'm from, I will tell you guys to confirm it. And someone has. I'm actually from Iceland. So my accent is Icelandic. That's why I sound so like an alien basically. It's not a good accent really. I don't think so anyway. I know you probably do. I've heard that it's really, that people do like the Icelandic accent. It's like a big buff for a channel if you're from Iceland. I don't know how that's possible, but I'm also only 50% Icelandic. I lived here my whole life, but I'm actually part Swedish as well. So my father was Swedish and my mother is Icelandic, so I'm kind of a mixture. And it's kind of strange because in the moment I go to Sweden, the whole language comes in, but when I'm here, I totally forget about it. I don't know anything. I don't know why, but yeah, my accent is Icelandic. These are my top 10 favorite Pokemon. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading videos lately, but I will try to mend that. So I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching, by the way.